Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees. That's right, Friday the 13th, part 6. And you're listening to the Snobs.com.
Totally insane.
They pushed me out and paced me.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Snobs podcast.
Hey, everybody.
I am your host, Mick Manhattan, of course, and I am joined by always by my co-pilot on this magic carpet ride, the Madman, Casey Plott.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, man. And Jason, we saw your comment. Thank you for joining us, man. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are coming off of our newest show to premiere tonight, right before at 7:30 p.m. And it's going to continue every Tuesday at 7:30. The PVD cast with John Orlando. Yes, John Orlando. I'm Mick Manhattan. We're covering the whole terrain. We are doing it. We have, Madman Casey Plott from Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Madman, as they call him. The torso
in my olden
killer.
days.
The torso killer in the 1920s. That's who he was. So
those were good times. I tell you, I miss them. I miss them before all these newfangled cell phones and ID cards.
They get in the way, man. They really do. We're back again, man. The Snobs podcast is live. It's every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you know when all our shows are going on. I just want to ask Casey, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing very well, man. Had a fantastic week. So just recouping, ready to rock and roll. Stoked for our show tonight. Got a lot of fun topics. Yes,
we do. Absolutely. And I can't wait to get into them. But I got to ask, man, you got a very Doc Brown vibe going on with the wardrobe tonight. What's this all about?
Kind of feeling it, man. Kind of feeling it. I mean, look, I've been working on the locks here during quarantine, during the locks of lockdown. So trying to get my rigs on, man. I'm going to pull it off. After watching Lethal Weapon 2, I was ready to cut it off. And then last night, Lethal Weapon 2 came on, and I was like, I'm so close. I just have to commit to this. I just got to go full rigs.
You messaged me because that's like our movie. Lethal Weapon series, but Lethal Weapon 2 especially.
2 especially, yeah.
And so much so that I think, you remember Joe when he was working on a police procedural show? That's where I'll leave it. And he put Alba Varden in one of the ships in the background, especially because he knew how much we loved that movie. You were talking about last night, and I always said you got to grow out the rigs too. You got to do it.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I watched it tonight, and he had a cut in the second one.
Oh no, he did. There's actually a couple scenes in there where you notice it's shorter than in other scenes, and I was like, what? And then in 3, which has been on, it's just glorious. It's huge. It's fantastical.
Oh, so big.
It's the full mane. It's just it's beautiful. It's wavy. It's perfect. It's prime. But yeah, in the second one, he definitely got a haircut.
Well, let me ask you this, because we both watched it in the past 24 hours. How much does that movie still hold up?
100%.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
And what I realized is, because like you remember it in that one scene where they have the montage of all the cops getting killed, all those detectives.
Mm-hmm.
It does not they actually, like, a cop dies like first thing in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of keeps continuing. I'm like, they killed every cop in this movie except for
pretty much.
I was like, how did they have anybody by the third one?
But it was only one precinct, LAPD.
That's fair.
Maybe they just like cycle them through.
Yeah, no, but Riggs and Murtaugh go through hell, and nothing ever happens.
Of course. Well, I don't know that nothing ever happens. He got shot like a lot at the end of 2.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll give you that.
By a Luger.
I did have Tommy sitting with me while I was watching it because it was TV edited. I'll give him TV edits. And we watched the scene where they first meet Leo Getz. And then as you know, room service comes in, tries to kill him, and they all fall out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And his first response was, "That pool's conveniently placed there." Like, you're 8, shut up.
He's a smart kid.
He is, because I've never questioned it. I'm like, yeah, no, makes sense.
Yeah, of course. I mean, why else would you do that? You had to know there's a pool there, duh.
And it would be the deep end right there.
Naturally, of course. Springs of Murtaugh.
I have been on rooftops doing shoots and stuff like that where there are pools down below, and we've often always said, like, I wonder if I just jumped, if I went right in the pool, what would happen? And it's like, no, you can't do that.
How about don't, and you don't have to worry about it.
Never have to worry about it. If rates can survive, I can survive.
Well, yeah, that was 20-year-old me. 30-year-old me says, get too old for this shit.
Bingo. That's where we'll leave the lethal weapon talk. I do want to say, Fred Carroll says, love to get you guys on the Cinephiles flashback. We'll always be there. Whatever time you want us, you let us know. We are going to be special guests on the Three Geeks podcast this Sunday. I will be a special guest on the Showboys this week. I'm very excited for both of those. They're great shows. Go check them out. And I got to get to Brian's first because, and I'm going to leave it purposely ambiguous because the loop-in is from where we're from.
So Jersey?
From Jersey.
Is there a scrapyard there?
Yeah, actually next door. There's a scrapyard to it.
Jersey bingo.
There is no pool at the loop-in, but I'm not going to explain the loop-in. If you want to know what the loop-in is, we had a very long conversation about it on the sports Snobs. It's a lot of fun. So this Thursday, go check that out.
All right.
Pictures involved and everything.
Will do. Hi, Brian.
Jason also says, and I love this question. I really do. And this is a good question to kind of start the show off with.
Okay, let's do this thing.
All right. I have a question. Favorite John Candy movie? Casey, I'm gonna let you go first because I'm thinking about it.
That's really hard. I've always been a huge fan. I'm a mark for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Solid.
But it's not necessarily my favorite because I just love Uncle Buck.
Oh, Uncle Buck is so good.
I love Uncle Buck. I know The Great Outdoors, I love, but it's not just because it's John Candy. It's because it's Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. So it's a great one. But yeah, Uncle Buck has got me.
Uncle Buck is a classic. It's perfect. I can watch it anytime. Same with Plane, Trains, Automobiles. Oh, Plane, Trains, Automobiles, though, is more dramatic, intense.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's one that I don't watch as often because of how dramatic it is. I love everything John Candy's ever been in. Everything he's been in, his role, even if the movie wasn't good, his part was always outstanding.
Him and Canadian Bacon.
Oh, sweet God, that's such a good movie. I want to say, though, probably I loved when he played a dad. He was the most endearing when he played a dad. It seemed the most real. And I got to say, The Great Outdoors, I think he played such a spectacular role in that movie. That I'll probably pick that as my favorite. Uncle Buck was so good, though. But I want to give special mention to his part in Home Alone.
Okay.
Because just everything he says in that is comedy gold. It is just wonderful. It just even down to like him and Catherine O'Hara, and he's telling her, "Oh, we left my kid in the funeral home," and she's like, "Can we stop talking about this, please?" And he's like, "Well, you asked," and it's just, "Oh no, you brought it up.
You brought it up."
So like, yeah, well, I don't want to talk about it. Like they're just gold together. I dearly miss that man. This is another good one. I just revisited Delirious, and I love it more than the first time. It is a great movie. Go check out Who's Harry Crumb.
I was going to say, Who's Harry Crumb was another one that as a child, I didn't get half of it. I didn't get it.
It was but his comedy is great.
Well, it's great now. Like,
right,
now as an adult, it's fucking great.
But I will also say, go check out Summer Rental. He's great in Summer Rental. Just everything. Even like, what was it, the West movie he did? His last movie.
Go West, or Wagons East.
Wagons East
Was awesome. But that's also because of Richard, what's his nuts?
Richard Lewis.
Richard Lewis.
Yeah, he was really good in that too. Well, Jason, I know you're bringing it up. Give me the okay first to mention it. Says I figured a good question due to our interview tomorrow, Mick. I wanna make sure I'm allowed to announce it on here. Once I get the okay from you, I will. Brian says Dan Connor from Roseanne has to be based on John Candy. I don't know, because I mean,
John Goodman had his own style,
Yeah.
his own thing. He's phenomenal in his own right.
yeah, and I mean, I think I couldn't see anybody. I couldn't see John Candy, as great as he was, being in that role, and Dan being the same way he was as John Goodman played him, because they're just two different types of actors. Oh, he says I can mention it. Okay, so I'm very honored. I was invited by Jason from Three Geeks Podcast to come in, and we're going to do a dual interview, I suppose, best way to put it, tomorrow, of Jennifer Candy, John Candy's daughter. So very
awesome.
excited for that. We'll let you know when that comes out. Thank you, Jason, very much for having me on board for that. I'm so excited. I mean, we have so much fun stuff going on soon. Like, being on Three Geeks, and next week we have Circle of Nerds on the podcast, and just so much fun stuff going on. Showboys this week, and but we picked out some topics this week that I really wanted to touch down on with you.
Mm-hmm.
And purposely, like when we were talking about them, we really didn't say anything about
Been holding it in.
Yeah. And I love that. I love when we do that. Like when we're just like, no, this is too good. We can't talk about it now. Because we know we want to. We know we want to geek out, especially.
Well, first, I know we have a little RIP to send out.
Yes. And it comes so sad. Rest in peace. Thank you, Case, for reminding me. Rest in peace to Julie Strain. I mean,
heavy metal, man.
Wow. I mean, heavy metal, Vampirella. She did so much in the art world for just that beautiful, sensual artwork. She was
the kind of artwork you see on the side of vans. It's sweet.
Yeah, really. But I mean, I love that artwork. That's
Yeah.
It's the same with heavy metal. Like I love the artwork in that movie, in both those movies. Even though the second one, not great. I mean, let's be serious, not great.
Totally fair.
But I love Julie Strain. I mean, and plus, I mean, let's just face facts. Like anybody growing up our age loved Julie Strain. She was our
How many
love.
B movies? Gosh.
Oh my God.
I was going through earlier. It was almost like 80 titles or something crazy like that.
She did so much, and she got very sick with dementia a few years ago, and has been suffering. And I remember last January, I think it was about a year, it was like a hoax out that she had died, and it was very sad. I remember being hit by that last year, and then hearing she was alive, and then catching the news this year, just only a few days ago, was sad to hear. So I just want to say rest in peace and my condolences here from both of us to your family. And your friends. So,
And to your enduring legacy.
Absolutely, 100%. But I will say we are getting a revival of sorts. I mean, that's a hell of a thing to segue to, but we are getting a segue.
Well, we're going from the dead to the almost dead.
Yeah, right. So Sex and the City is coming back for a revival. Now, this show was 8 seasons and 2 big movies.
Huge movies.
Yeah, they did really well. And now we're hearing that HBO Max is going to revive the show. And I only asked you one question at this point. And before we get into like how we feel about the revival, I asked you, it was like, at what point does this just turn into the Golden Girls?
Yeah, I thought long and hard about this, since the show is about them in their 50s. And the Golden Girls were what? Late 60s?
No, they were legit like late 40s, early 50s, because in the 80s they were all around that age. They were
I guess so. Just one divorcee and 2 widows.
Yeah, Blanche was a widow,
and Rose was a widow.
And then divorcee Dorothy. Yep.
Yeah. This has got to turn now, but I don't think they're the right cast to do it.
Well, here's what bugs me: our truly favorite in the mix is not coming back to the show. No surprise.
If you're not going to have the girl with the green eyes, what the hell's the point? I only watched it for Kim Cattrall because I was like, well, I fell in love during Big Big Trouble in Little China, so now I have to see everything I get to see. But yeah,
Yeah, no Gracie Law, no me. I'm not watching.
I'm out.
I mean, I've talked to some fans of that show who were diehards and needed to go see it in the theaters. And they were all like, I don't care. What are they doing this for? It's like, first of all, if it has Charlotte and it doesn't have Samantha, that's even worse.
Yeah, there's no balance there. The whole point was they were the balance for each other, the antithesis to one another.
They really were. And, for a movie about friendship, when you don't have one of them, Sex in the 60s. That was Golden Girls.
Different beds when you're married. Come on, everybody knows that. I spice it up.
Syphilis. That's how it spreads, man. That's how it spreads.
Old people humping.
I will say, like, how do you feel about these revivals coming back? Because now you have this being revived. You have I Know What You Did Last Summer being revived in a TV show. There seems like they're doing a revival of Scream.
I mean, I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. It's not a matter of I don't mind as long as it's a decent product, but I'm not sold. I'll never be as committed to what originally came out. What originally came out hit me at a time. It did a thing. It had a cast. There are certain variables that it's very difficult to recreate. So I prefer if you can get the tone of that time, if you can create sort of and give me the feels of an adventure or make me part of the crew, give me something along those lines. Because if you're not doing that, it's just a waste of everybody's time. So if you're just rolling people out, what is this revival show going to do? What are they going to do? Is Carrie Bradshaw going to complain more into her freaking book or magazine that she owns now, even though she's married to Mr. Big, whatever? I don't know. Not that I follow this, but definitely.
What if I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but what if they take it away? Like, I mean, if you're going to make it a Sex and the City revival, it's got to be Sex and the City. And if they break them up, what did you do for that 8 years?
Yeah, exactly. No sex in the city? That completely takes away from it. Or married sex in the city, which I guess is a thing.
I have no idea what's happening in the show, and I'm a little scared. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm just done with the revivals. Just all around, it's just boring. Now, Brian's got one. That one I'm excited for.
That's not a revival. That's a sequel.
Exactly. If you're going to do sequels, if you're going to do add-ons, if you're going to take the original cast and just go forward in time, yeah, I'm in. 100%, always, every time.
Yeah,
absolutely. I will follow you along. But if it's bringing in an entirely new cast with a new showrunner, with a new director, new writer, and they're just trying to reboot just based off the name, and maybe Scream was a horror movie, so we're going to make a horror show. Okay.
Yeah.
About kids in high school. Who gives a crap? I'm cool with it for 2 hours with a really good story. I'm not cool with it for 9 hours for a season. Come on. No.
Well, yeah, and I think the biggest thing to kind of differentiate between a revival and a sequel like this is, are they reviving Coming to America? Yes, in a way. But it is a sequel. It does follow that plan, like you said. It does, it's just because it takes place 30, 35 years later, it's still following along with what happened. Like, now he's going to find his son. Let me fix my mic so you guys aren't getting double speak. How was that? Syphilis. So for me, you're gonna get exactly what you want out of this, and you're gonna get the perfect comedy for it. With Sex and the City, it's like all you're doing is just bringing it back and gonna try and rehash the same crap, and it's not gonna work.
All the same crap we've already been through. Your story. That was the whole point of this. We got a couple extra movies to find out more about your story. Enough, Carrie. How about someone else's story? And it sounds like Selfish in the City to me.
Oh God! Remember they tried to do the Carrie.
Carrie Bradshaw Diaries or something. Yeah.
And it was just her as a kid on CW. It's so stupid.
How are you going to have that on cable? That's the other thing. It was an HBO show for a reason.
Yeah.
Man, boobs.
Oh, 100%. Brian says Punky Brewster. Yeah, I'm not even going to touch that one.
Oh, right. So let's have fun with some Punky Brewster, because Leo Moon Fry is coming back. Wasn't she a porn star?
Was she?
I thought Leo Moon Fry was the one who went that direction. Maybe she was. No, maybe she went bad Hallmark. Lifetime movies. Yeah, that's right. She was the bad Lifetime movies.
She was in Sabrina the Teenage Witch for a little while too.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember that. I read it in a book. But for me, like, all right, revivals, they need to knock it off. We got Roseanne revival. We just got too many going on all at once.
Enough of it. I mean, it's done. With the show ran its course. It did a good thing. If you want to have a reunion show, I'm always hip to that. If you want to do some sort of sequel, where are they now? Sure. And I understand they're doing that with this. It doesn't interest me. And like you said, when does this become the Golden Girls?
Yeah. And then, okay, so like going on with the Golden Girls. Now, what if they rebooted, or they can't revive that because only Betty White's alive? So let's say
it's a different kind of revival.
It's a very different kind of revival.
It's very illegal in the States.
Zack Snyder's type of revival.
You son of a just.
So for you, what do you think about like if they remade the Golden Girls? Who do you think should star in the Golden Girls? What should be the setting? Where do we take it?
So I had a few ideas at this, a few stabs, if you will. And it has to be, it would be great if it was something like, I don't know, it would need to be set somewhere in Montana with millennials. So I feel like we're a good 30 years out. But they could really use someone like Kristen Ritter, who I feel real strongly about. Like, she would crush it as a Blanche Devereaux. I think she would be perfect for that.
I am going to tell you right now, I don't like that idea at all. Only because you said millennials, and it threw me off.
That's the whole idea.
I was so different in my way of thinking when we were talking about this.
No, I don't want to. I don't want Gen Xers. Who are we going to have as the Gen Xers complaining about them? Helen Hunt?
I don't want Gen Xers. I want like Helen Mirren in there playing Blanche.
Oh, man. Dude. Okay, well then in that case, wait, who's still alive? Judi Dench? Is she still kicking? Because she definitely needs to be Sophia.
Sophia? That's a rose if I ever saw one.
What? Judi Dench?
Yes.
Who in the world would you be put? Okay, who would you put as Estelle Getty?
Now. Okay. All right. I mean, if you're gonna go older, and she's much older now, but I could think she could be like funny. Let's get Marla Gibbs.
Oh, okay.
Boom, pop it in there. Like, she needs to be the age. Like, if you have like a Helen Mirren or a Dame Judi Dench, you can have Marla Gibbs be the older one to play the motherly type.
And then Angela Bassett.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
I think she would be hilarious.
Her,
just playing her as
Alfred
Dorothy.
Woodward.
Her as Dorothy.
Oh, yeah. Or Alfred Woodward. I'm telling you, one of those two.
Ooh, Alfred Woodward would be awesome as well.
Because I can see them both landing the Dorothy lines.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just that. I don't want to even say sassy. It's not really sassy. It's like, just I could see them with that type of comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it fits them. That snark.
That'd be a good revival,
right? I thought that would be brilliant.
Oh.
And there's we got someone over here with Nicole about, speaking of Sabrina, revival was interesting, but not on par with the original vibe. Agree, because the original vibe was part of TGIF, and that lineup had no drama whatsoever, except like when Cody fell off a roller coaster. I think was the problem. I don't remember. Step by Step was weird.
I'm so glad you said that. Have you seen Sasha Mitchell, who played Cody, recently?
No, I have not.
All right, we'll keep talking, and I'll get a picture of it.
Okay. So I agree, though. The new Sabrina was just, it's cool. I'm cool with it. I don't have anything wrong with it. They did fun stuff, and they didn't destroy it completely, so whatever. And it's actually the devil trying to hump her, which is weird, because before it was Penn Jillette, which was, yes, uncomfortable for many different reasons. But now the dark one is, a goat thing guy, so that works.
Well, wasn't that like a real symbol?
Penn Jillette?
Was it Penn Jillette? What about Penn Jillette?
Penn Jillette's the dark one. So remember, the dark one shows up in Old School Sabrina on TGIF Sabrina.
Did he? He played the devil in it?
Yeah, he was the dark one.
I didn't remember. Okay, so that's why it threw me off. I had no memory of that whatsoever.
And there you go. I think he showed up twice. I don't know. That was later years. Like I only really watched the first 2 or 3 seasons, and then I realized what was between my legs and started running around like a crazy person.
Which is generally how it works. I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
We got Brian saying Jeopardy. Is that a revival? Too soon, Brian. Too soon.
Not ready.
Yes, Angela Bassett. So Nicole agrees. I think, and this is Cody from Step by Step.
What is wrong with him?
He's just gigantic now. He's a powerhouse. So he's a bodybuilder now.
Wow. Yeah, he is.
Gigantic.
That's ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
weird.
he's huge. I saw a picture of him the other day on Instagram, and I'm like, Jesus, dude! Like, remember when Cody would do all like the martial arts on the show, like protect everybody?
Yeah.
Like, now he just has to look at them, and they're gonna run. It's like you're crazy.
He's just trying to get big enough to show that roller coaster who was boss.
I do want to say I want to go to Golden Girls one more time, and I want to go into like the 40s. I want to go into like the 40s range, and like who do you got if we're like they're around in their 40s and they're just kind of like living together? Who you got for me?
Okay, well, it's still that's hard. It's real hard. I mean, Jennifer Aniston, even though she's in her 50s now. And then who's that Courtney Cox chick? She'd probably be good at it. See if there's Lisa Kudrow. Maybe we could get her. Or what about Reese Witherspoon? I bet you she'd be hip. We could put all them in a house. I bet you that'd be wacky.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Put them in Cape Cod.
I'm going to tell you right now. You're throwing off my vibe, dude. You're throwing off my vibe.
Well, then give me something. What you got?
All right. Who am I getting in my 40s that would work?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Ooh, I like Sarah Michelle. I am a fan of Sarah Michelle. Ooh,
Shannon Doherty.
Milano and Nicole Kidman.
Oh.
Steroids, my friends. Yes, Cody. Well, no, you know what? He can probably kick my ass, so I'm just going to say no.
Hi, Mike.
Sorry, Mike. Mike, of course, hosts the show Boys, which I will be a guest on this week, so make sure to check that out. I will be as entertaining as I can possibly be. So I will say, I'm going to say this. Taking actresses in their 40s now, I want Regina King.
Yeah, ditto.
All
the time. Great. My goodness. I want to take her to dinner.
She'd be a great Dorothy.
Treat her like a lady.
And if we stick to that, we can have her as a Dorothy, and we can still have Angela Bassett now instead of Dorothy play Sophia.
So we're just going to do multi-generational Golden Girls?
I'm in. I'm in, man. I'm in.
Look, if it worked for The Crown, why don't we just keep it going?
Yeah, I know, right? Every season it's just somebody different playing the role.
Yeah, just step up to the next level. That'd be fantastic. I actually really dig that idea. I think that would be brilliant.
So what you're telling me is the UK can produce a show like The Crown because of its rich heritage.
Yeah.
The US can produce a show like The Crown, but the Golden Girls as a revival.
Because of our rich heritage.
That's all we got.
Yeah. I mean, that's our rich heritage. We don't have a Henry V or any King Lear, no Shakespeare. We don't got none of that. We got what? Tennessee Williams?
Listen, stop right there. Stop with that. What do you call it? That accent you're using, because I don't want you putting on a no-fly list.
Totally insane.
They pushed me out and maced me.
That's still my favorite thing ever.
Just get outrageous use.
I don't know who made that, but it was perfect. And I want
brutal
on this show. It's so wonderful. That might play 2 or 3 more times.
I was going to say it's coming some more. We're not done yet tonight, folks. Strap in. It's going to be a long one.
Listen, it's January 2021. It already feels like it's November 2021. That's how long this month has been already. I'm just going to say that might be a main fixture for this year. Depending on what else happens, who knows?
Hey, the year is young.
The year is young.
Live it up.
So much more. Olivia Colman, because BBC shows. That's true.
Olivia Colman's amazing.
So much sass. She's fantastic in everything.
I watched her in The Favorite. Mind blown. What a great flick.
Her, I
Emma
didn't love
Stone. No, the fair. I could see where if you don't, but I was in a real period piece mood, so
Yeah, no, that's fair. I loved her in it. I loved every scene she had. She was interesting, but then like they would go off on the side quests, if you will, and I was like, I was like, I'm not enjoying this.
Well, of course, why would you? If it's you gotta be a little more pompous, buddy. You gotta have a little more posh to you. It's that Jersey in you. It's like, why in the world would you want to watch anything Victorian? I get it.
Oh, I got a correction. I just got a message. I'm sorry. I have to correct. We are not on Three Geeks Podcast this week. We are on Three Geeks Podcast on the 24th.
Ooh, good thing. Because I would have sat here looking like a fool. Be like, hey, so what's up?
It's 11:30 a.m. We're messing each other. So, like, you ready? Let's do this.
Okay. Is everyone all right? Did we forget something?
I love it, though. So the 24th, that's when we'll be on there. And we're going to hopefully entertain there as well. But
it's a tall order. We'll see how it goes.
I talked about geeks. The Three Geeks, us here on the Snobs podcast. And I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about some other geeks. I want to know who the most realistic on-screen geek is.
I kind of had to think this through, and it took me a while. But after some long, hard consideration, sifting through, Revenge of the Nerds, it's pretty solid. A few caricatures, but get pretty tight. Pretty close. But that was a different era. Those geeks don't exist anymore.
No.
I realize now that probably the most geeky of the geek trolls and geeks combination is Boris from GoldenEye.
No. Really?
Yeah.
Do you think he's the best, most realistic on-screen geek?
After working with many of them, oh yeah.
I was gonna say Chuck.
Oh well, maybe more. Okay, so if you're talking from a reality standpoint, the best actual on-screen us geek, entertainment geek would be Chuck.
And yeah. Let's go with that.
Morgan, maybe more.
No, I think Morgan was really blown out in a lot of ways.
What?
He's great. Don't get me wrong. He was a great character for that. But now, take away the spy stuff, because that is the most unrealistic thing. So take away.
We're moments away from it. I'm working on it right now.
But take away the spy stuff. Just him as a person. Him as the geek. That's basically you.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's realistic.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Yeah, all right.
We got some good ones here. I'm gonna lambast Brian in a second. Mike Courtney says, "Don't want to drag you guys off topic, but Case, what is your favorite period piece show wise?" Let's save that one because I want to get into it a little bit more, but I want to stay on topic.
We'll play with that, Mike.
Mike, hit us up with that question again later on. If we don't remember it, if we tend to forget it, we want to answer that. Mike also says Abed from Community, more realistic nerd, 100%. No.
Yeah, you know what? No, Abed was good from a social awkwardness standpoint, sure, and the functional knowledge and ability to recall it. Yeah, I like it. I'm not saying 100%, but I like it.
He had points that could be realistic, but no, not. I would say Troy is more realistic.
Okay,
because Troy, from an everyday geek standpoint, that's sort of where you're at. Now, somebody who has autism, somebody on the spectrum, something like that, that's a different story, though. I'm not asking you who's the most realistic autistic person on screen. It's from a geek standpoint, just the most relatable, I guess. Like you could see that person existing in the real world.
Yeah, and I think I could see Troy and Abed.
Yeah, I mean, Abed only because he's so over the top with a lot of things.
Okay, good. I was afraid you were really going to go racist there, and it'd be awkward.
No, no, you stop it. Troy and Abed, I went to college with so many. Fair. And then Brian says Sheldon, and I'm going to tell you right now, Revenge of the Nerds and Big Bang Theory are the most overblown geek. Like that's what everybody thinks a geek is,
except for what they wear on Big Bang Theory.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, their costuming department pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, well,
I almost wore a T-shirt over this with my Green Lantern symbol on a long sleeve shirt. Come on, that's
that. I mean, some of them, like Howard, doesn't with the big belt buckle and the plaid shirts. Like, no, that's
weird.
I would also say Sean Spencer and Gus.
Ooh, yeah,
Psych.
Strong. Psych, yeah.
They're geeks. They're straight up geeks, but they're every day. Like, you know, I could see running into those geeks at a Comic-Con or something.
Absolutely, 100%.
You know, we have.
Sometimes we are.
Yeah, sometimes we are. 100%. I don't know. I think about these, and it gets me like, because there's so many out there. But Chuck, I've been rewatching Chuck, and I'm just like, you know, if you take all of the crazy spy stuff, which is so unrealistic, that's like you should be dead right now, like 1,000 times over. You take all that away, you know, he's just a pretty normal geeky guy.
Well, in the first couple seasons, they're talking about Call of Duty. They're talking about having game nights. They're just dudes who have Dungeons and Dragon nights. I mean, come on, of course. That's very common. That's, once again, most people I work with. So,
yeah, I mean, when we work together, that's all we talked about.
Yeah, pretty much. It's what we do.
And, you know, the Vicky Vale scene is one of the most realistic.
Vicky Vale, Vicky Vale. Vicky Vale.
And then we get Jay and Silent Bob. No, they're so outlandish.
Maybe in Hackensack.
Hackensack. You went to Hackensack? There's nowhere different from Red Bank.
I don't know. I thought it was all just one big Jersey, right? Isn't it just?
No,
it's a new part and then the Jersey part.
Hackensack
so I don't
here. Red Bank's down here. So, and actually, they're from Leonardo. So,
yeah. Well, Billy Joel sang about Hackensack, so that's about my reference.
Hackensack, hack. Yeah, he did.
But you ought to know by now.
You ought to know. I'm not paying for that song. Okay, so we get into the geeks. All right. So let's say, who's your top 5? Would you say geeks in movies or TV?
Well, hold on. What are your parameters? Because I don't want to start coming up with stuff, and you're like, "Well, I don't know if that one would fit." Like, are you talking about geeks that I would walk through like town and see, or are you talking about geeks who are just like
you'd hang out with?
Oh, top 5 I'd hang out with.
Yep.
Well, that changes the game, doesn't it?
It really does.
The Troy and Abed.
Okay.
I would love to hang out with Troy and Abed, and then Morgan and Chuck.
Oh, that's 4. Who's your 5th?
Howard's girlfriend from Big Bang Theory.
Touche. Since I'm a married man, I will say.
But just hanging out, you sick bastard.
Yeah, right.
Guys and girls can be friends. This isn't Harry Met Sally, all right? We're not living in Rob Reiner world.
I will say, and I'm going to surprise you with some. I'm going to hang out with. I'll hang out with Chuck. Can't do Troy and Abed. I mean, I love them. I love watching them, but they'd be too much after a while.
Oh God, the pillow forts we would create. Come on.
Yeah, dude, but then there'd be a war, and I'd be like, I'm not into this.
What? Would you not be in a pillow? No, you don't merge all your way out of a pillow fight.
Sean Spencer, Gus.
Okay,
Gus has to be there. Carlton.
Wait, Carlton
from Fresh Prince.
Oh, nice.
And
That's a lot of energy.
It's a lot of energy, but he's a smart dude, and you can have good conversations. Some
Absolutely.
would be snobbish, but you can have good conversations.
And then play blackjack later.
And then, yeah, and then lose all our money, and then get in a dance contest. And my fifth would be from out of nowhere, Theo Huxtable.
Whoa, whoa, what?
Yep. Tell me he wasn't a geek. His best friend's name was Cockroach.
Look, man, I gotta be honest with you. I've wiped a lot of Cosby Show from the old brain compendium.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get that, but I mean, Theo is the man.
Though Theo was awesome, but I don't really see him as a geek at all.
Yeah, I mean,
no. Way
it's
more
not
Fresh
just
Prince.
Wayne.
He's way more Will in Fresh Prince. Way more. Brian, why are you hanging out with Dwight? Why are you hanging? That's a nightmare. That is a worst scenario. You're just gonna have someone berating you the whole time. It's no fun.
I mean,
some Cylons. I'm out of here.
I mean, if you're talking geek, Jim from The Office.
Honestly, Toby.
No, man, he's the Strangler.
Dude, Toby totally throws down. Come on.
Yeah, he's a killer. He's the serial killer from the show.
Oh, whatever. I'm sure.
Look at that theory. Look at it. Look it up.
I'm so sure.
Top five. I'm sticking with Theo Huxtable. Theo Huxtable is a geek in his own right. I love Theo. I want to hang out with him. He's a down to earth geek. But
what was he geeky about? What was his thing? Like everyone else had things. They had stuff, entertainment or news or something, science, medicine.
I don't know, family. I mean, first of all, tell me that he's not a geek and he did a whole choreographed numbers with his sisters singing down the stairs.
That's just awesome.
Yeah, that's
neither geek nor not geek. That goes above.
Mick is my friend. I like to be scolded. Only when you deserve it, buddy. Only when you deserve it. So yeah, I'm sticking with that 5. I like that. That's cool. A nice round number.
Hey man, that's your 5.
That's my 5.
That's your 5.
I noticed that we didn't pick anybody for movies.
Nope. Because television has just been taking over recently. I don't know about you, but I have not been able to lock into any decent movies. It's just been catching up on TV shows.
Well, I mean, we haven't really been getting anything. But actually, did you hear about the new Netflix announcement?
I did not. Oh, wait. One movie every week, right?
One movie every week, all year long.
That's pretty cool.
Powerhouse stars that they have in it. I mean, we're getting a movie starring
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba in a Western with Regina King, produced by Jay-Z. And I can't remember his name, but he played the lead in Lovecraft Country's in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited for it. I'm in.
I still need to catch up on Lovecraft Country.
Oh my God, that was so good. That was such a good show. You should definitely check it out. Actually, I'd hang out with him too. He was kind of geeky in that. Well, I wouldn't hang out with him during the Lovecraft Country stuff because I don't want to die. But
yeah, try to avoid that.
Like even if I'm hanging out with him, like I know my limitations. Like he'd be okay, I would die. So I'm not spoiling anything for anybody. I'm just saying if I'm set in this world, I'm a dead man. That's just how it is.
All right, cool. I'm excited to find out what this world is.
It just is what it is, man. I will say with this 52 movies, where the hell did they get these movies from that they filmed them all?
Yeah, that is pretty wild looking through all of them and seeing. I mean, like you said, everything's got every single one has an A-lister. I mean, there's a Leonardo DiCaprio movie coming out for crying out loud.
With Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. What?
Haven't seen her in forever.
But she was still gone in space after that terrible Chris Pratt movie.
Well, it's funny because I'm looking at they have one with Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, and Gal Gadot is in it.
Yep.
And I'm like, so all of them are in the Fast and the Furious series. That's so I'm like, they just all work together and we're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a movie together. I love it. I'm in.
Why not? You watch it. It was like one of the screenwriters walked up and was like, hey, I've got this other movie I'm doing. If you guys be interested. And they were like, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Because that's how it happens, right? I mean, you're the Hollywood guy. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, you just walk up to the stars and you're like,
Yeah.
listen, I am a gaffer and here is my script. Would you please let me in? And then that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And then you are an overnight sensation writing for Netflix.
Bada bing, bada boom. 52 movies in a year. Congratulations.
Jesus, I cannot believe. Like at least 52. They said at least one new movie every week. That's not saying that that's it.
They had the entire list. I actually was looking at it earlier. It's
Let's
crazy.
see what we got here. New movies from Netflix list.
It's going to be a lot. It's
I
going to be
Google
a
the way
lot.
I talk.
What's that? What are you
I
saying?
Google the way I talk. Show me list.
Hey, look at stuff. Where are the things? Internet, turn on.
I want internet turn on. All 70 movies, Netflix, 70 in a year, every week is coming out. We have Red Notice. That's the one with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. Chris Hemsworth is in a movie called Spiderhead. So swings his extraction guns for Netflix again and Escape from Spiderhead. I wonder if he's going to be playing the same character. I loved Extraction. Amy Poehler's high school comedy drama Moxie. Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Yeah, it's Zack Snyder's new movie.
Yeah, it's Zack Snyder.
I liked Dawn of the Dead. So
I like
I wouldn't mind seeing something. I like original Zack Snyder stuff.
Yeah.
I don't love his adaptations.
No, 300 was fine.
I did like the 4-hour version of Watchmen, though.
Yeah. The super long version was great.
There's so many movies coming out, and I don't even know what's going on. I like how they put all those new movies in the... I am looking forward to Malcolm and Marie. That's the one that they supposedly shot during COVID.
Cool.
And
There's only like one sci-fi title coming out, too. I thought that was fascinating when, 5 years ago, they dumped a boatload of money into all their sci-fi properties.
Did you see Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as one of the movies?
No.
Yeah, it's on this list.
Well, that's going to be a good one.
I am interested. Revivals be damned. Yeah, that's what we're getting. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff. And you're getting a new movie from Lin-Manuel Miranda directing, and Halle Berry's directing a new movie.
Yeah, Tick Tick Boom, right? Is, I believe, the one Lin-Manuel is doing?
I
musical.
don't know. Did you say Tic Tac what?
Tick Tick Boom, I believe.
There is one called Tic Tic Boom, so maybe. And Sweet Girl is the one by Halle Berry, so I'm interested.
Definitely going to watch that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Halle Berry should be a Golden Girl. How is Halle Berry not a Golden Girl? She's the most Blanche who ever blanched.
No, Halle Berry's a sweet girl.
No, come on, man. You make her Blanche be way funnier.
You make her, I don't know. You make her Rose.
Rose. Yeah. Actually, you know what? She'd probably be pretty hilarious, Rose.
Well, I do, we are giving each other the worst advice. So let's move on to our next topic of the worst movie advice ever given. Yeah.
Yep.
I only have one, so I
Yeah.
can't hear what you have to say.
Okay, well, I've got a few things. So I did some research on this and tried to figure out which direction I was going to go. And I found a couple lists, and I checked some lists out. And there's like, guys and girls can't be friends from When Harry Met Sally. I brought that one up earlier. There's a couple of them, but the ones that really started to get to me, the romantic comedies. Every piece of advice from every romantic comedy is terrible. It's terrible. So let's see. As far as like trying to befriend someone who has like, a disease, and they're going to die, don't do it. Don't do it, because you're going to fall in love with them. And then they're going to die, because that was the whole premise. That's how it started. So don't do it.
They're just going to wipe out.
Yep.
You can't fall in love.
So you can't ever befriend anyone with a serious disease. You got to bail. You're done.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 2 would be that if you want true love, you have to let it go, because it's bound to come back to you. It's bullshit. That's a lie. Also, if you have to build a house for them to come back to you, what kind of love is that? Huh? Just asking for a friend.
If you have to what somebody?
Build a house for someone to come back to you.
Which movie is that?
The Notebook.
Oh my God, that's right. He did build a house for
He
her.
built the fucking house. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It's my favorite movie, has been for years, and I've continued watching this movie. Why? What is? Can't even afford a house yet, much less a crappy one that I could fix up.
Oh, I love this one from Nicole. Oh my God, Love Actually. Coming on to and creepily recording your friend's wife when she makes out with you. Yeah, everything Andrew Lincoln did in that movie is bad advice.
Yeah, seriously, he was just not smart about anything. Like, also, how about when he just bails out of his house because some chick's in it, and he just leaves her there with all his shit? What is
you watch
that?
the tape them out.
Yeah, enjoy later. Bloop.
You watch how I ruined your wedding video.
Just ogling over you.
Oh my God! But that's the worst advice in movie history for me. Is chase after the woman till she falls in love with you. Keep doing things.
Just keep at it because you should. Because obviously that's what it is, especially like 500 Days of Summer, when she says, I don't want a relationship, and he's still forcing his relationship on her as they're in a relationship.
That's the good thing about that movie, though. That movie, the whole basis of that movie is that he's the villain of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he does in that movie is wrong.
Yeah.
And he even says, he's like, go back and rewatch that movie. If you're looking at me as the hero, you are not understanding that movie. And it's true because his character in that movie is he's a terrible human being.
Exactly.
But he's a good representation of what Hollywood does. But they, whereas he's the villain and he how he's pushing himself, like every other romantic comedy and such is the same way. Like, if you just keep pushing or you keep doing grand things, and it teaches, guys and young
doing stuff
to do that, to keep pushing. Like, no, it will prevail. That's how it works. If I keep doing this, and as I got older, I learned a very important lesson. If somebody doesn't like you, what are you chasing for? Like, they don't like you. Respect it.
Yeah, what's the point?
But
that was a terrible lesson. Or girls being taught that they have to change for boys to like them.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I mean, there's some terrible, terrible movie advice.
Yeah.
Especially, and it's mostly targeted to young people, which is the weirdest part.
Think of how many John Hughes movies have some of that terrible advice that we took. Still love it. It's still great. Wonderful movies. Can't really see the equation anymore. It doesn't. Yeah. It didn't hold up. None of those movies, as a parent now, especially, I'm like, oh God, no.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's funny. Well, to say Brian is right, chasing a girl like that in real life gets you a restraining order. That's for sure.
Truth.
But like even girls, I'm saying girls, but like I'm saying girls because I mean younger women, who are
young
watching,
ladies,
are being taught to play those games. And it's not right either, because when you talk to older women, they're sitting there saying like, "No, I don't want this. This is not what I want in my life." But like men are and boys and men are being led to believe that, and it's like,
or how many movies where we're told that cheating's fine if it's true love?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. It's so bad. It really is. Nicole says left field the night before Christmas. I don't think I saw that. Possibly crazy guy that thinks he's a knight and you let him live with you while he regains his memory. Yeah, those are some weird ones.
Like the Kate and Leopold? Like, come on.
Yeah, like, I mean, even though it's true, why are you believing this?
Howard the Duck.
No, that's perfectly plausible, and I don't know why you brought that up.
Sorry, you're right. That was a bit out of left field. If a random duck did just pop out of an interdimensional portal, I'd definitely be hanging out with that guy. And
have sex with him.
Oh, well, naturally.
I mean, yeah. That's just how it is, man. He's a rockin' duck.
But yeah, more to the Nicole point, because I actually have watched that movie. It's Vanessa Hudgens' flick. I was in a place. All right,
all right.
Can't open up the book of my life, jump into the middle of it. But that's very much so why I've all those Hallmark movies. That yes, is the world I would still want to live in, Christmas world, but terrible advice.
Oh yeah,
awful advice. This whole idea that love will just come to you.
Just keep pushing.
Just keep pushing. Really. I mean, that is one of the most prevailing points, and has set up a lot of us for failure.
It's basically no matter how many times she says no,
keep going.
She doesn't mean that.
She doesn't mean it. No, it's persistence that really matters, guys. That's what pays off.
And for anybody who's just tuning in, we do not mean that. This is just worst movie advice that is out there that we've received, that anybody's received. And, like, I will say at least like with the Harry Met Sally type movie, yeah, he believed that. Then by the end, it wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Although he was kind of proven because they did fall in love and get married.
Right. So.
All right. Maybe I'm wrong. I am all over the place with that one. But like, there's so much bad advice. American Pie is like a smorgasbord of bad advice, especially for high school students.
It's every piece of bad advice you could give high school students.
Film this girl while she gets changed. I mean, I granted it was the early days of the internet, but
no, there's no granted. There's nothing. Nope.
No.
Nope,
all I mean is like it wasn't happening on the regular.
It was less consistent at that time.
Yeah, like when we saw that in the movie, being teenagers at that age, we were like, "Oh my god, the internet can do this."
Well, you thought
that's what I mean. I don't mean.
I know in Jersey it was a little different. There were some people slamming rocks, going internet. Just
shut up. We had the internet. I had AOL. Liquid K 768 at AOL.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
I was still Plotamus.
Yeah,
this has been my AOL name. That's just held strong.
The Plotamus. Maybe that's what you're on the show. The Plotamus. The Maximus Plotamus.
Where it came from.
We're getting towards the end of the show, and I do like the terrible advice that we've got. But that's like one thing I do want to shine a light on, and that is, don't chase the girl if she said no over and over again. She's not going to fall in love with you.
It's not more fun.
If she's terrible and she's stringing you along, that's even worse. That's an even bigger indication of walk away. Trust me.
And the whole like breaking up with, and then the guys like Lane in Better Off Dead doing everything he can to re-impress the girl. Yeah. Now, luckily, they show you that it doesn't matter, and he actually finds someone who's way cooler, not nearly as vapid. But
he drives his car in Dodger Stadium.
It was awesome. There was some serious funding for that Cameron Crowe movie.
Brian, I do love that movie though. Brian says, yes, this is probably the worst advice. Yes, fresh baked pie burns sensitive areas. It's true. Do not have sex with the fresh baked pie. Don't have sex with any pie, but especially a fresh baked one.
And here's another one. How about 10 Things I Hate About You?
Oh,
the idea that if someone screws you up and you do a grand gesture, it's fine. As long as they're sorry it was bigger than the problem, it's fine. They just let them keep it up. Let him keep it up.
No. But I really fell in love with you throughout this whole thing. Like, yeah, so like we should be good, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm real now. Now I'm real. So like before those, I mean, yeah, but I'm now. Yeah.
It's so sad, man. It really is. But
I'll still go back and watch every single one of them.
Yeah, I will too.
Every single one of them. But yeah, I mean, she's all that. Come on.
But I mean, even that, yeah, like I don't know, man. Now you're just warping my mind, dude.
Because it's all terrible, dude.
It's gaslighting every single one of them.
Exactly. And all these Hollywood writers and directors thought all these are great ideas because that's how you get them. But even Shakespeare was pointing out what a dumb idea it was in Taming of the Shrew, and they went, "Wow, we're just going to do it again." And they didn't actually explain what the payoff was. They just went, everyone gets a prize and it's okay. You can do whatever you want. We're going to get you what you wanted because you tried hard enough.
Use each other, treat each other like garbage, but then fall in love and it's all right because love fixes all.
Because, yeah, it's love, man. All love.
And this is why we need to stick with Ninja Turtles movies. That's it. I go back to that. It's just got to be Ninja Turtles movies from now on.
I don't know if there's such great advice in there either, bro, because they talk about, I mean, look, that was how many people were dumping cans of ooze down random, sewers trying to get themselves some Ninja Turtles.
Wait, was that a bad thing?
Oh,
I'm from Jersey. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Never mind. It probably helped actually up with you guys.
Why do you think I'm 6'8"?
I'm a giant.
I do want to go. I want to circle back to Mike's question of what's your favorite period piece show right now, or I guess right now or all time, whichever, or both.
The one I've been circling back and rewatching was Bomb Girls because that was really good. I like Bomb Girls. A lot of the stuff that has to do with the 40s is kind of where I'm at right now, period piece wise. I'm sure I'll jump on Bridgerton because I've heard a lot of fantastic things from that show. So, and about that show. So I will definitely be checking out Bridgerton. Overall, I'm usually more of a anything Oscar Wilde is always good. So anything in that vein. So Bridgerton should be good. Apparently, it like brings new music. Like they used updated music. Kind of like
a Knight's Tale?
Knight's Tale. Yeah, exactly.
Which is great advice.
Ruins the show.
Lie about your nobledom and, you know.
And you can get whatever you want because you lied. But it's okay because you're better than people because you have a big heart.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And with that, I'm just going to say this has been another episode of the Scene Snobs Podcast Live. Join us every week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. with Mick and the Mad-Man going at it. All new topics. I still got to get that down at some point.
You'll figure it out, bro. It's all good.
I have to, like, my instincts tell me this way, so I have to go against my instincts and just go.
I've just started turning my chair slightly towards this direction, so I'm angled in such a way. So it's like it only feels natural. Yeah.
Smart man.
No, I'm just really that screwed up in the head. I got to throw my dimensions off.
Just gonna start leaning.
No.
Oh, that's the yeah, so join us every week. This is on the scenesnobs.com. You can check out all our older episodes. And you know what? I'm going to urge everybody who listens, who likes this show, to go back and listen to the very first Scene Snobs podcast. You can listen to it in a podcast form. Of course, the show is in podcast and in video. Available everywhere. Go to thescenesnobs.com. I'll get that out of the way right now, and all the links are there. But I'm going to urge everybody to go back, but on YouTube, go to the playlist, find the very first episode. And if you can tell me what movie is playing, because we were not video at that point, what movie I edited over the audio, and you can tell me one topic we talked about, I will send you a goodie bag of Scene Snob swag. Oh,
it's good stuff, folks. Pins, stickers, magnets. I'm a magnet junkie, so that's rad.
Yep, and you get a very cool Skyline Indie Film Fest magnet, which is awesome. So if you can go check that out, tell me what movie next week, and tell me one topic we talked about, and you win a prize. So
my challenge is for everyone to go back and watch their favorite romantic comedy from the 90s and 2000s.
And write down a gaslight.
And just figure out where the gaslighting starts, or where someone has to change something fundamentally about themselves that they probably didn't need to. And yeah, I'd be curious to see who comes up with what.
Well, I will tell you, it's the first person to answer next week for, so like the first person to answer wins the goodie bag. You can't just be everybody goes back and listens. It's going to be our highest rated show of all time. It's our very first episode. So we'll go from there. We love you all. Thank you for joining in.
Take it easy.
He is Casey. And we love doing this. So join in thescenesnobs.com. Go check out all of our shows. We have a ton of them. And follow us at the Scene Snob for more. And make sure, please, one last plea. If you go to the Scene Snobs Facebook page, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. That is a big help. And subscribe to the YouTube page. It is a huge help for us if you guys could do that to monetize. So
what he said, yeah. We want to keep doing this, and being able to do this more would be cooler.
Absolutely. So,
and especially from different mobile positions, and maybe if we could get like our own RV.
Ooh, I like that.
Right?
Yeah, we need a Scene Snobs RV, everybody. So go subscribe and follow and like and everything. So I appreciate you guys, and we will talk to you later.
Be kind to each other.